In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable dirty condition wheat pennies you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these coins so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. Let's start with the basics. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the iconic Lincoln Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This series replaced the Indian head cent and quickly became one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. But what makes the 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special? Well, it's a combination of its historical significance, design features, and the unique conditions that can make certain coins incredibly valuable. Today, we're focusing on a 1940 wheat penny that's not in pristine condition. In fact, it's damaged, rusty, and full of character. And believe it or not, these imperfections can actually increase its value. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a pivotal time in U.S. history. The country was still recovering from the Great Depression, and World War II was just on the horizon. Coins from this era often carry a sense of nostalgia and historical weight, making them highly collectible. The Lincoln Wheat Penny itself was designed by Victor David Brenner, a renowned sculptor whose initials, VDB, famously appeared on the reverse of the 1909 edition. While the initials were removed later due to controversy, Brenner's design remained largely unchanged for decades. The obverse of the coin features a profile of Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered presidents in U.S. history. The reverse showcases two wheat stalks, symbolizing prosperity and agricultural abundance, a fitting design for a nation rebuilding itself after economic hardship. In 1940, the U.S. Mint produced over 586 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies across three mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While this might sound like a lot, the survival rate of these coins in good condition is surprisingly low. Many were circulated extensively, and others were lost or melted down over the years. The 1940 Philadelphia issue, which we're focusing on today, is the most common of the three. However, coins in damaged or rusty conditions are often overlooked by collectors, which can make them rare in their own right. And as we'll see, certain types of damage can actually enhance a coin's value. The edge of the coin is plain, which is typical for Lincoln Wheat Pennies. However, the presence of rust or damage along the edge can add unique character to the coin. Now, let's talk about the damage and rust on this particular 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny. While many collectors seek out coins in mint condition, there's a growing market for coins with unique imperfections. These problem coins can tell a story, and in some cases, their flaws make them even more valuable. On this coin, the date 1940 is partially worn away, likely due to extensive circulation or improper storage. While this might seem like a drawback, coins with damaged dates are often sought after by error collectors. The partial date adds a layer of mystery and intrigue, making the coin a conversation piece. The coin's surface is covered in a deep, reddish-brown rust, giving it a distinctive appearance. This rust is the result of prolonged exposure to moisture and oxygen, which cause the copper in the coin to oxidize. While rust is typically seen as a negative, it can create stunning visual effects, especially under certain lighting conditions. The coin is in what collectors call poor or fair condition, with significant wear and damage. However, its unique appearance and historical significance make it a standout piece for collectors who appreciate coins with character. So, how much is this 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth in today's auction market? While most 1940 pennies in average condition are worth thousands of dollars, coins with unique damage or toning can fetch much higher prices. In recent years, damaged and rusty Lincoln Wheat Pennies have sold for anywhere from $3,000 depending on the severity and uniqueness of the damage. Coins with partial dates or heavy rust, like the one we're discussing today, often fall on the higher end of this range. There's a growing niche of collectors who specialize in problem coins, coins with damage, errors, or unique toning. These collectors appreciate the stories behind these coins and are willing to pay a premium for pieces that stand out from the crowd. If you come across a coin like this, it's important to have it graded and authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. While the damage might be obvious, a professional assessment can help determine the coin's true value and ensure its authenticity. Next up, the 1945 was a pivotal time in world history. World War II was coming to an end, and the United States was transitioning from a wartime economy to a peacetime one. This shift had a significant impact on coin production, including the Lincoln wheat penny. During this time, pennies were made of a bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This composition was standard until 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched to a zinc core with a copper plating. But what makes the 1945 penny so interesting is not just its composition, but the errors that can occur, such as the small circle on the obverse side above the date, a feature we'll dive into later. Now, let's talk about the value of this coin. In circulated condition, a typical 1945 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is worth anywhere from 15 to 50 cents. But when you add in the small circle error above the date, the value skyrockets. In today's auction market, a 1945 penny with this error can fetch anywhere from $55,000 depending on its condition and the level of collector interest. Why is this error so valuable? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. The small circle error is believed to be caused by a die chip, or a gouge, in the coin's die during production. This creates a distinct mark that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. In fact, some collectors specialize in error coins, making this variety highly sought after. But here's the catch. The coin's value is heavily dependent on its condition. Even with the error, a heavily damaged or worn coin will fetch a lower price. That's why it's crucial to examine your coins carefully and, if possible, have them graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. In 1945, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion Lincoln wheat pennies. However, coins without a mint mark, like the one we're discussing today, are particularly interesting to collectors. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, which was the primary mint at the time. Now let's dive into the small circle error that makes this coin so valuable. This error appears as a tiny raised circle on the obverse side of the coin, just above the date. 1945. It's believed to be caused by a die chip or a gouge in the coin's die during production. Die chips occur when a small piece of the die breaks off, leaving a void that fills with metal during the striking process. This results in a raised circular mark on the coin's surface. While die chips are relatively common, the small circle error on the 1945 penny is particularly distinctive and desirable among collectors. What makes this error so fascinating is its uniqueness. No two die chips are exactly alike, meaning each coin with this error is one of a kind. This rarity, combined with the historical significance of the 1945 penny, makes it a prized addition to any collection. As with any coin, the condition plays a crucial role in determining its value. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with the small circle error is no exception. In circulated condition, the coin may show signs of wear such as flattened details or scratches. However, even in this state, the error can still command a high price. If the coin is in uncirculated condition, with minimal wear and strong details, its value can increase significantly. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC use a scale from 1 to 70 to assess a coin's condition, with 70 being perfect. A high-grade 1945 penny with the small circle error could easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction. If you think you found a 1945 penny with this error, it's worth having it graded by a professional service. Not only will this authenticate the coin, but it will also provide an official assessment of its condition, which can greatly enhance its value. So, why are collectors so interested in the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with the small circle error? For one, it's a piece of history. This coin was minted during a time of great change in the United States, making it a tangible connection to the past. Additionally, error coins are always popular among collectors. They represent a unique and often rare variation of a standard issue coin, making them highly desirable. The small circle error on the 1945 penny is no exception, and its rarity ensures that it will remain a sought-after piece for years to come. From an investment perspective, error coins like this one have shown consistent growth in value over time. As more collectors enter the market, the demand for rare and unique coins continues to rise, driving up prices. If you're lucky enough to own a 1945 penny with the small circle error, you could be sitting on a valuable asset. Next up, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat penny is a classic piece of American coinage that holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. To understand its significance, we need to take a step back in time. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a historical figure. By 1957, the Lincoln wheat penny had been in circulation for nearly 5 decades. It was a time of post-war prosperity in the United States, and the penny was a staple of everyday commerce. However, 1957 marked one of the last years of the wheat penny design, as it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. This makes the 1957 issue one of the final chapters in the wheat penny series, adding to its historical appeal. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1957 wheat penny, specifically the one without a mint mark. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, the primary mint facility of the United States. In circulated condition, most 1957 pennies are worth $33,000. However, the coin we're focusing on today is unique due to its full rusty, color-changed appearance. Coins with natural toning or color changes are highly sought after by collectors, especially when the toning is visually striking. The rust-like patina on this coin gives it a distinct character, making it stand out from typical circulated pennies. In today's auction market, a 1957 wheat penny in this condition can fetch anywhere from $400,000 depending on the intensity of the color change and the overall appeal to collectors. For example, in a recent heritage auction sale, a 1957 wheat penny with similar toning sold for $347,000. While this might not seem like a fortune, it's a significant premium over the face value of the coin. Collectors are drawn to these coins because they tell a story. Each mark and color change is a testament to the coin's journey through time. The 1957 wheat penny had a massive mintage of over 1.5 billion coins, making it one of the most common dates in the series. However, the sheer volume of coins produced doesn't diminish the value of well-preserved or uniquely toned specimens. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of these coins, and since they didn't carry a mint mark, they are often referred to as no mint mark pennies. Despite the high mintage, finding a 1957 wheat penny with full rusty toning in circulated condition is relatively rare. Most coins from this era were heavily circulated and eventually melted down or lost to time. This scarcity, combined with the coin's historical significance, contributes to its value. The 1957 wheat penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a distinct reddish-brown color when freshly minted. Over time, exposure to air, moisture, and other environmental factors can cause the coin to develop a patina, ranging from light brown to deep rust. This natural toning is what makes the coin we're discussing today so unique. While the 1957 wheat penny is not known for major errors, there are a few varieties that collectors should be aware of. One of the most notable is the doubled die obverse variety, where the design elements on the obverse appear slightly doubled. This error occurs during the minting process when the die strikes the coin multiple times at slightly different angles. Another variety to look out for is the repunched mint mark, though this is more common in coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints. Since the 1957 Philadelphia issue doesn't have a mint mark, these varieties don't apply. For the average collector, finding a 1957 wheat penny with full rusty toning is a more attainable goal than hunting for rare errors. However, if you're lucky enough to stumble upon a doubled die or other error variety, the value could increase significantly. The 1957 wheat penny is a favorite among collectors for several reasons. First, it represents the end of an era. The final years of the wheat penny design before the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. This historical significance makes it a must-have for anyone building a complete set of Lincoln cents. Second, the coin's affordability makes it accessible to collectors of all budgets. While high-grade uncirculated specimens can command higher prices, circulated examples like the one we're discussing today are perfect for beginners or those looking to add a piece of history to their collection without breaking the bank. Finally, the unique toning and color changes seen on some 1957 wheat pennies add an extra layer of appeal. Collectors are drawn to coins that tell a story, and the natural patina on this coin is a testament to its journey through decades of circulation. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat penny is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. To truly appreciate its significance, we need to travel back to the early 20th century. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was a groundbreaking coin for several reasons. Not only was it the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, but it also marked a shift in coin design, moving away from the traditional Liberty motifs that had dominated U.S. coinage for over a century. The wheat penny, as it's commonly known, gets its name from the two stalks of wheat depicted on the reverse side of the coin. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, remained in use from 1909 until 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The 1946 issue falls right in the middle of this era, a time when the United States was recovering from World War II. The post-war period was marked by economic growth and a renewed sense of optimism, but it was also a time of transition. The U.S. Mint was ramping up production to meet the demands of a growing economy, and coins like the 1946 wheat penny were minted in large quantities. However, not all of these coins were created equal. Some, like the 1946 penny without a mint mark, have become highly sought after by collectors due to their rarity and unique characteristics. Now, let's talk numbers. In 1946, the U.S. Mint produced over 991 million Lincoln wheat pennies across three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark in 1946, produced the majority of these coins, approximately 991 million, to be exact. While this might sound like a lot, the reality is that many of these coins were heavily circulated and eventually lost or melted down over the years. The 1946 wheat penny, without a mint mark, is particularly interesting because it represents the standard issue from the Philadelphia Mint. While it's not the rarest coin in the series, its value can vary significantly depending on its condition. Circulated examples, especially those in dirty or well-worn condition, are relatively common and may only be worth a few cents. However, uncirculated or high-grade examples can fetch much higher prices, especially if they exhibit unique characteristics or errors. No discussion of the 1946 wheat penny would be complete without mentioning errors and varieties. While the 1946 issue is not known for having as many errors as some other years in the series, there are a few notable varieties that collectors should be aware of. One of the most famous is the 1946 double-die obverse variety. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is engraved with a doubled image, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the date, lettering, and Lincoln's profile. While this variety is rare, it can significantly increase the value of a 1946 wheat penny, especially in higher grades. Another interesting variety is the 1946 repunched mint mark. While this variety is more commonly associated with coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints, it's worth keeping an eye out for any signs of repunching on the mint mark. These subtle variations can make a big difference in the value of a coin, particularly for serious collectors. So, what's the 1946 wheat penny worth in today's market? As with any coin, the value depends on a variety of factors, including its condition, rarity, and any unique characteristics or errors. Let's break it down. In circulated condition, a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark is relatively common and may only be worth a few cents to a few dollars, depending on its grade. However, uncirculated examples can fetch much higher prices. For instance, a 1946 wheat penny in mint state, 63 condition might sell for around $77,000, while a higher grade example in MS65 or above could command prices of $82,000 or more. Error coins, such as the double die obverse variety, can be worth significantly more. In fact, a 1946 double die obverse in high grade could sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. The key is to carefully examine your coins for any signs of doubling or other errors that could increase their value. It's also worth noting that the value of the 1946 wheat penny can fluctuate based on market demand. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in Lincoln cents, particularly those from the early to mid-20th century. This increased demand, combined with the finite supply of high-grade examples, has driven up prices for coins like the 1946 wheat penny. For collectors, the 1946 wheat penny represents an accessible entry point into the world of numismatics. Its historical significance, iconic design, and potential for hidden value make it a must-have for any serious collection. Next up, the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is a piece of American history that takes us back to the heart of the Great Depression. This was a time when the United States was grappling with economic hardship, and every penny counted, literally. The Lincoln wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had already become a staple in American currency by the 1930s. The 1937 issue is particularly interesting because it reflects the resilience of the U.S. Mint during a challenging era. Despite the economic struggles, the Mint continued producing coins to meet the demands of commerce. The 1937 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it doesn't bear a mint mark. Philadelphia was the primary mint facility at the time, and coins produced there typically didn't carry a mint mark until much later. Now, let's talk about the big question. What is the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny worth in today's market? The value of this coin can vary significantly depending on its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. In dirty, circulated condition, meaning the coin shows signs of wear, discoloration, and possibly some grime from decades of use, the 1937 penny without a mint mark is still quite valuable. While it might not fetch the same prices as a pristine, uncirculated specimen, it's important to remember that even well-worn coins can be worth more than their face value. As of recent auction data, a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in dirty, circulated condition can sell for anywhere between $66,000. However, if the coin has unique characteristics, such as a rare error or an unusually well-preserved design despite its circulation, it could command higher prices. For example, coins with strong details in Lincoln's portrait or clear wheat stalks on the reverse might appeal to collectors looking for circulated coins with character. It's also worth noting that the market for Lincoln wheat pennies is robust, with collectors constantly seeking to fill gaps in their collections. Even in lower grades, the 1937 penny remains a popular choice due to its historical significance and the sheer number of collectors focusing on this series. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny had a substantial mintage, with over 309 million coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. While this might sound like a lot, it's important to consider how many of these coins have survived in collectible condition. Over the decades, countless pennies have been lost, melted down, or simply worn out from circulation. This means that even with a high mintage, finding a 1937 penny in any condition can be a challenge. Circulated coins, like the one we're discussing today, are more common than uncirculated specimens, but they still hold value due to their age and historical context. For collectors, the 1937 penny is often seen as an accessible entry point into the world of wheat pennies. Its relatively high mintage means that it's not prohibitively expensive, even in better grades, but it's still a coin with a story to tell. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the hunt for errors and varieties, and the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny is no exception. While this issue isn't known for having as many errors as some other years, there are still a few notable varieties to watch out for. One of the most sought after is the 1937D three-legged buffalo variety, which actually applies to the buffalo nickel, but is often confused with wheat penny errors. For the 1937 penny, collectors should keep an eye out for doubled dies, repunched mint marks, though this applies more to coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints and other minor striking anomalies. Even in dirty, circulated condition, errors can significantly increase a coin's value. If you come across a 1937 penny with unusual features, it's always worth having it examined by a professional grading service. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny is a favorite among collectors for several reasons. First, it's part of the long-running Wheat Penny series, which spans from 1909 to 1958. Many collectors aim to complete a set of wheat pennies, and the 1937 issue is a key date in that series. Second, the coin's historical context makes it a tangible piece of the Great Depression era. Holding a 1937 penny is like holding a small piece of history, a reminder of a time when every cent mattered. Finally, the affordability of the 1937 penny in circulated condition makes it an accessible option for collectors of all levels. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, this coin offers a great opportunity to own a piece of American history without breaking the bank. Next up, the 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a fascinating piece of American history. Introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a real person, President Abraham Lincoln. This was a groundbreaking move, as previous coins typically depicted allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. The Lincoln cent was released to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and it quickly became a staple of American currency. The year 1917 was a tumultuous time in U.S. history. World War I was raging, and the nation was undergoing significant social and economic changes. Coins from this era often carry a sense of historical weight, as they were minted during a time of great uncertainty and transformation. The 1917 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in particular, is a tangible reminder of this pivotal period. The coin we're focusing on today is a 1917 D penny, which means it was minted in Denver. The D mint mark is located on the reverse side of the coin, just below the wheat stalks. What makes this specific coin unique is its damaged date and rusty coloration, which we'll discuss in more detail later. Now, let's talk about what makes this specific 1917 D penny so special. The coin in question has a damaged date, which means the numbers 1917 are partially worn away or obscured. This could have occurred due to excessive circulation, improper storage, or even a minting error. While damaged dates typically reduce a coin's value, they can also make it more intriguing to collectors, especially if the damage is unique or adds to the coin's story. Another notable feature of this coin is its rusty coloration. Over time, copper coins like the Lincoln penny can develop a patina or toning due to exposure to air, moisture, and other environmental factors. In this case, the coin has taken on a distinct rusty hue, which gives it a unique aesthetic appeal. While some collectors prefer coins in pristine condition, others are drawn to coins with character and history, like this one. Finally, the D mint mark adds another layer of interest. Coins minted in Denver often have a slightly different appearance compared to those from Philadelphia or San Francisco, due to variations in die preparation and striking pressure. This can make Denver minted coins particularly appealing to collectors. So, what's this coin worth in today's market? Despite its damaged date and circulated condition, the 1917 D Lincoln Wheat Penny can still fetch a significant price, especially if it has unique characteristics like the rusty coloration we've discussed. In general, a 1917 D penny in good condition can be worth anywhere from $84,000 depending on its grade and eye appeal. However, coins with unique errors or patinas can command higher prices, particularly if they attract the interest of specialized collectors. In recent auctions, damaged or toned Lincoln Wheat pennies have sold for anywhere from $90,000 depending on the specifics of the coin and the level of collector interest. The coin we're discussing today could easily fall into this range, especially if it's presented as a one-of-a-kind piece with a compelling story. For collectors, the appeal of this coin lies in its historical significance, unique appearance, and the challenge of finding a 1917 D penny with such distinct characteristics. Whether you're a Lincoln cent enthusiast or a collector of error coins, This penny is a fascinating addition to any collection. Next up, the 1944 D. Lincoln Wheat Penny, with a steel planchet and rusty lamination. This coin is a true anomaly in the world of numismatics, and its story begins during one of the most pivotal times in U.S. history, World War II. To understand why this coin is so special, we need to go back to the early 1940s. The United States was deeply involved in World War II, and resources like copper were in high demand for the war effort. In 1943, the U.S. Mint made a drastic decision. They stopped using copper to produce pennies and instead switched to zinc-coated steel. This resulted in the famous 1943 steel pennies, which are already highly collectible. But here's where things get interesting. In 1944, the Mint switched back to using copper. However, a small number of steel planchets, the blank discs used to strike coins from 1943, were accidentally left in the presses and were struck with the 1944 dies. This error created the 1944 steel penny, an incredibly rare and valuable coin. Now, the 1944 steel penny is rare enough on its own, but the 1944 D steel penny is even rarer. The D mint mark indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, which adds another layer of scarcity. And when you add the unique rusty lamination to the mix, you've got a coin that's worth a small fortune. So how much is this coin worth? Well, buckle up, because the value of the 1944 D steel penny in rusty lamination condition is staggering. In today's auction market, this coin can fetch anywhere from $100,000 depending on its condition and the level of collector interest. For example, in a recent heritage auction sale, a 1944 D steel penny in circulated condition with rusty lamination sold for $180,000. And if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. But why is this coin so valuable? It all comes down to its rarity and historical significance. Only a handful of these coins are known to exist, and each one is a piece of history that collectors are eager to own. Let's talk numbers. The 1944 D steel penny is one of the rarest coins in U.S. history. While the exact mintage is unknown, experts estimate that only 7 to 10 examples of this coin exist today. Compare that to the billions of pennies minted each year, and you can see why this coin is so highly sought after. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing over 430 million pennies in 1944, but only a tiny fraction of those were struck on steel planchets. Most of these error coins were likely caught by mint inspectors and destroyed, but a few managed to escape into circulation. And that's where the magic happens. Finding one of these coins in your pocket change would be like winning the lottery. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this incredible coin. The 1944 D steel penny features the classic Lincoln wheat design, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. But what makes this coin truly unique is its steel composition and rusty lamination. Unlike the typical copper pennies, this coin has a silvery gray appearance due to its steel planchet. Over time, the zinc coating wears away, exposing the steel underneath, which can rust and create a distinctive reddish-brown patina. This rusty lamination adds character to the coin and makes it even more desirable to collectors. Now let's talk about the errors that make this coin so special. The 1944 D steel penny is an error coin by definition, as it was struck on a steel planchet intended for 1943 pennies. But within this error, there are even more fascinating varieties. One of the most notable is the rusty lamination variety. Lamination errors occur when impurities or gas bubbles in the metal cause layers of the coin to peel or flake. In the case of the 1944 D steel penny, the rusty lamination gives the coin a unique, almost artistic appearance. Collectors love these errors because they add to the coin's story and make each one truly one of a kind. Another interesting variety is the double die obverse, where the design elements are struck twice, creating a slightly blurred or doubled appearance. While this variety is rare, it can significantly increase the coin's value. So, why are collectors so obsessed with the 1944 D steel penny? Well, it's a combination of rarity, history, and the thrill of the hunt. This coin is a tangible piece of World War II history, and owning one is like holding a piece of the past in your hands. For advanced collectors, the 1944 D steel penny is a crown jewel in any collection. It's the kind of coin that can elevate a collection from great to extraordinary. And for investors, this coin is a solid bet, as its value has consistently appreciated over the years. But even if you're not a serious collector, finding one of these coins would be a dream come true. Imagine going through an old jar of pennies and stumbling upon a 1944 D steel penny. It's the stuff of numismatic legends. Now, before you start digging through your coin jars, let's talk about how to identify a genuine 1944 D steel penny. First, check the date and mint mark. It should say 1944 with a D below the date. Next, look for the silvery gray color of the steel planchet. If the coin is magnetic, that's a good sign, as steel is magnetic while copper is not. Finally, examine the coin for signs of rusty lamination or other errors. If you think you found one, it's essential to have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Counterfeit coins do exist, so it's better to be safe than sorry. Next up, let's talk about the star of today's video, the 1930 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin is a true legend in the world of coin collecting, and for good reason. It's not just a piece of history, it's a piece of art, a symbol of American resilience, and a treasure that continues to captivate collectors worldwide. To truly appreciate the 1930 wheat penny, we need to travel back in time to the era it was minted, the Great Depression. The 1930s were a period of immense economic hardship in the United States. Banks were failing, unemployment was skyrocketing, and families were struggling to make ends meet. In the midst of this turmoil, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins, but in much smaller quantities than in previous years. The 1930 wheat penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it doesn't bear a mint mark. Interestingly, the Philadelphia Mint produced only 1.8 million of these pennies in 1930, making it one of the lowest mintage years for the Lincoln Wheat series. To put that into perspective, the 1930 mintage is significantly lower than other years, such as 1931, which saw over 19 million pennies produced. Because of the economic conditions, many of these pennies were likely spent immediately, leaving very few in circulation today. This scarcity, combined with the coin's historical significance, has made the 1930 wheat penny a prized possession for collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. The value of the 1930 wheat penny varies greatly depending on its condition. In circulated condition, where the coin shows signs of wear, it can still fetch anywhere from $50,000. However, if you're lucky enough to find one in uncirculated condition, the value skyrockets. For example, a 1930 wheat penny graded MS65, which means it's in near-perfect condition, can sell for $75,000 at auction. And if you happen to have one of the rare specimens graded MS66 or higher, you could be looking at a value of $90,000 or more. But here's the kicker. Some of the finest known examples have sold for over $100,000 in recent years. That's right, a penny worth 20 grand. This makes the 1930 wheat penny one of the most valuable coins in the Lincoln Wheat series. As I mentioned earlier, the 1930 wheat penny had a mintage of just 1.8 million coins. To give you some context, here's a quick comparison. 1930. Wheat penny. 1.8 million minted. This drastic reduction in mintage was due to the economic downturn. People simply didn't need as many coins because they weren't spending as much. As a result, the 1930 wheat penny is one of the rarest and most desirable coins in the series. One interesting detail to note is the motto, "In God We Trust," which appears above Lincoln's head. This phrase has been a staple of U.S. coinage since the Civil War and adds a layer of historical significance to the coin. While the 1930 wheat penny is already rare, some varieties and errors make certain specimens even more valuable. One of the most notable is the 1930s wheat penny, which was minted in San Francisco. However, the 1930 no mint mark Philadelphia is the true star of the show. Error coins, such as those with double dies or off-center strikes, can also command a premium. For example, a 1930 wheat penny with a double die obverse where the design appears slightly doubled could be worth thousands of dollars more than a standard coin. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rare varieties, so if you have a 1930 wheat penny, it's worth having it examined by a professional grading service. So why are collectors so obsessed with the 1930 wheat penny? There are a few reasons. With only 1.8 million minted, it's one of the hardest to find coins in the Lincoln Wheat series. It's a tangible piece of Great Depression history. The classic design and craftsmanship make it a beautiful addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1930 wheat penny is a coin that deserves a place in your collection. And who knows? You might already have one hiding in your pocket change or an old coin jar. And there you have it, the incredible story of the 1930 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. From its humble beginnings during the Great Depression to its status as a numismatic treasure, this coin is a true testament to the enduring legacy of U.S. coinage. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coin hunting.